What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again. And today we're going to get back into the XFL. That is right. We're going to get into some XFL news. Now, today's going to be a shorter video because I want to not only cover the XFL news that we've been kind of coming out here really right on the eve of our weekend game. So I definitely want to get this information out. But I also want to give you guys a heads up and just kind of tell you just things that have been going on with the channel and, all the cool, neat stuff with that. All right, let's not waste any more time. If it's your first time here, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate all you guys who've been bolstering up this channel, and we're almost there. We're over 900 subscribers, getting ready to go over to getting over 1,000. And really, the reason why I want to get over 1,000 is yeah, it opens up monetization and all that stuff. But really, what it does is it opens up a lot more options for the channel. I can communicate with you guys through some tools and some different things, whether it be messages, whether it be live, going live and that type of a thing. So, I mean, it really does open up the opportunities for this channel to grow and for me to be able to present you guys with more content. So all of you guys subscribing and all of you guys, I appreciate just all of you guys who have been, putting down the comment section, encouraging others to subscribe. It really means a lot to me that you guys are really into the content, really into this channel. I do really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead here. Let's talk about this. Ticket sales. Ticket sales are up. Who would have thought that? Listen, after the first week, ticket sales have been going up and up and up. And I know that the XFL have been selling tickets for, cheaper prices and things like that. But hey, who cares? You're getting more and more people there in the stands. And the fact of the matter is if you're selling $20 tickets in some places, that means that for my family, the four of us, $80 to get in at the door, and then let's say another $20 to park. Listen, I can get into a game for $100. That's pretty dang good and get my whole family in there. Now that's not counting, any type of souvenirs that we would get, meals or anything like that during the game. But hey, that's really, really good. In today's day and age, to be able to pull that off and do that, that's pretty great. But ticket sales are up, and it's looking to be that the game between the Tampa Bay Vipers and the Seatte Dragons, it's looking to be that they could have around 30,000 people there. That would be almost twice as many people as what was averaging for the attendance for the first week game in just the second week. I mean, so you think about that. Each team had over 17,000 people at the games last weekend. And then to jump up around 30,000, that's almost double in attendance there in 1 week. And it's looking to be that St. Louis is looking to get around that 30,000 mark or maybe even over for their home opener next weekend. So, I mean, the ticket sales seem to be going great. Now, they need to keep up the good play on the field, and they really need to keep up that rapport because that's really going to be key for them. But right now, all in all, the things are looking up for the XFL. And speaking of up for the XFL, is betting is up too. If you look all the way around, listen, the XFL is bringing in some decent cash for betting. They were top betting for, you can look at the different sites, and I'll go ahead and I'll put some links down. I don't really want to get lost in all of the minutia of all the things with the betting and all that stuff. I know that some of you guys are into that. Some of you guys aren't. So we won't go dive too big into it. But Vegas is liking the XFL. It's looking to be that their last weekend, the betting that they had was about where you would figure a good UFC bout would be weekend. So if the UFC had a good card, then they would that would be about where the XFL betting has been falling. So that's pretty good to me. I think that seemed to be good. Vegas is liking that with it. I think that these sites that do these one-day fantasy leagues and things like that One Day Fantasy, I think that they've been doing fairly decent as well, and it looks to be that that the betting is really up, and that the XFL's really embraced that, and Vegas and the gambling community has really embraced the XFL, and it seems to be a lucrative partnership so far. And, that's huge for the XFL. Again, it's just another thing to show that the XFL has really kind of built itself to last and to really do, to keep moving on and doing these things. So that's really cool with it. Now, in more news, and a really cool thing is we've been feeling like, you guys in St. Louis, the BattleHawks, you guys have been left out. All these other teams have been getting these alternative logos, and you finally got yours. And it's not a bad-looking logo. I'll go ahead and I'll let you guys see it, and I'll put it up on the screen. And that my thoughts of it. It's pretty clean cut. It looks like a miniaturized version and kind of a simplified version of their main logo, which looks just fine. And the wings and the sword, and it's kind of like a conglomerate of the two kind of put together to where you got the wings and the sword kind of all into one thing. It almost looks to me, it can be almost look like an aircraft type of a thing. Looks pretty cool. It's definitely got that military taste to it. Looks very military to me, like a military type of a badge or something like that. So looks good. I think it'll look great as a graphic to put on the screen, next to the score or up on the scoreboard, something like that, to have across the ticker at the bottom to notify you that this is St. Louis, this is the BattleHawks. So it looked good to me. No qualms, no problem there. All right, let's look at our next little bit of information that we have here. And this one is just kind of a crazy thing to me. We're going to get into some player personnel things as we're leading up to the weekend. That Anthony Johnson, we thought that he was released, and that's what it said on the website. But no, he's been traded to the DC Defenders. So you had the captain of your defense there in LA, the LA Wildcats, and he was traded to the DC Defenders for cornerback Bradley Slav. I don't know. I apologize. I butcher names all the time. But he was a second stringer. So you're taking the guy who was the anchor of your defense from week one throughout all of training camp, and you trade him for a second stringer. At least they got a second string guy. At least they got something out of that. And, that's probably a good thing that the league is kind of in charge of these things and these personnel things, and that, they made DC give something up for him and not just, go ahead and sign him. Because in the NFL, they would have just signed him and they just would have been done, and that would have been it, and that would have been the end of it. So I think that here, the league, being kind of over all of the teams and overseeing all the personnel transactions and all that stuff, I think that really has helped LA here. Again, I'm not liking what Moss is doing. I don't agree with what's going on there in LA. And I'm glad that the league's kind of stepping in here and definitely making at least something happen. And so that LA doesn't get nothing for this. I think that that having him, if he plays this weekend, now granted that just came out today. This is Friday. They play tomorrow. If he comes out and plays tomorrow, that might be a huge deal for them. And he's definitely going to be a big factor in the weeks to come for their defense. He adds a lot to their defense. But adding that's going to be huge. So let's talk about the big pickup that the XFL had this past week. So if you've been paying any attention to the CFL, or if you're a CFL fan, you'll know that legendary wide receiver SJ Green asked for his release this past week, and in a couple days pretty much ended up in the XFL. He signed with the XFL and ended up on the Seatte Dragons team. That's a huge, huge deal. Now, granted, this is a guy who was in the league for 12 years. Now, granted, he's a legend there. I don't know how much he has left in his legs, but for Seattle, I think that's going to be a great addition to have him on one side And then to have Perrell on the other, Austin Perrell did a fantastic job last week. And so I think that this is a really good pickup, and I think that this is going to be just another target. I think a really good target for Brandon Silvers. Hopefully Brandon Silvers this week can take that next step. But yeah, I think that this is really good for the XFL. It's showing that talent and guys who have been other places and done well, especially like the CFL, can come over and get to play in the XFL. So this could be actually really, really huge for the XFL. I see this as something to where the XFL, if Green comes in and plays well and does well in the XFL, you could see the XFL poaching the CFL for more players and more players coming over to the XFL, especially if the XFL keeps doing well in ticket sales and with their TV deals, with TV ratings, and also the betting. You could see salaries starting to go up, and guys who are playing in the CFL, especially those who those really good guys, might look to jump over to the XFL. So this is really huge for the XFL. Like I said, I don't know how much on the field we'll see. I mean, he's a 12-year vet, so definitely I think the veteran status is gonna really help him. But how much he has left in the tank is really kind of what we're looking at here. But hey, to have a big CFL name come over like that is huge for the XFL and just another plus for them. Good job, guys. Now let's look at our other personnel news is really centered around quarterbacks here. And so I want to focus in on really the fact is looks like Josh Johnson is probably going to he's probably going to play, and he's going to start. They really need him in LA to play and start, or they've got absolutely no chance this weekend. Landry's going to start. Brandon Silvers is going to start. So all of those guys that we had questions about, looks like that they're going to be starting. They're going to be playing, which is a good thing for the XFL. They need them to be playing. They need them to be starting because they need the quarterback play to be good, because I think that that's really what's going to keep the interest of people is good quarterback play, whether or not the rest of the west of the positions do well or not. It really all stems from quarterback play, and if quarterback plays good, it's going to be good throughout the rest. So that's good news to have all those guys starting. Now here's the other tidbit, and I'll give you kind of my 2 cents on this one. Aaron Murray is not starting this week, and I think that that's a good thing for multiple reasons. One, he did not play well at all in the first week, and granted, you could chalk it up to him having a bad injury with his foot, and that really affected his game. I don't think that had anything to do with his game, but we're just going to go with that for right now. Now, that being said, it looks like Cornelius and Flowers have taken the snaps with the first team this week. Some places you see we've got Cornelius, who's going to be the guy who's going to be starting, and other places that we've got Flowers. I don't know. It could be both of them. I'd really like both of them to get a shot. I really think that Cornelius has an opportunity here that he can win the spot and really win this team. Flowers, I think Flowers has the same opportunity as well, but we'll see if they will actually unleash him and let him play. If they unleash him and let Flowers play, and Flowers throws a lot more balls like he did at the end of that game against the Guardians, there in that really nice pass that he had. If he continues to do that, Aaron Murray's not getting back on the field. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. He can run better than Aaron Murray. He makes really good decisions in the run game, and if he can throw the ball like that and make good decisions with the ball like that, Aaron Murray's not getting back on the field. Now, whether or not he'll get the opportunity to do that. Now, Cornelius, he's really another pro-style passer, but the thing is he comes from Gundy's system there in Oklahoma State, and I really like the way that they do things. They sling the ball around the field, and there's no qualms about it. So he's a guy who's used to slinging the ball around the field, and I think that he'll feel very comfortable slinging the ball around the field in Trestman's offense. And so if he gets a chance to really go out there and actually play this weekend, I think that'll be huge. If the thing that concerns me is that they're going to use both of those guys in tandem and kind of bringing one in and one out, and neither guy will actually ever get an opportunity to establish themselves in the offense and really take control of the offense, and I think that could hurt both of their chances going forward. So if neither one of them really gets a stint where they're hot and they actually get to stay in the game, I think that's going to hurt both of the guys. But who knows? I really like to see both of them do it, because I think that both of them could be stars in this league, and I think that both of them, especially with the packages that they run, I think that they bring different things to the the table with, Cornelius being more of a traditional passer, pocket passer style of guy and things like that. And I think if he can stay in the pocket, they gave Aaron Murray plenty enough time last week. He just decided to leave the pocket, was set in kind of his ways and stuff like that. But if Cornelius can take advantage of that and the time that they give him, and he can hit some guys down the field, I think that'll be good for him. And Flowers too. He brings a different dynamic. He's definitely more of a dual threat quarterback. But I think Trestman's offense can be manipulated and changed to really fit him. And so I think that can also be a nice fit for them as well. I think he ran really well with Smith with the 1-2 punch with the RPO. They both ran and seemed to complement each other with that and do really well. So I really like that. But the key is will either one of them actually get a chance and a shot to establish themselves, which I think that they should. So I would like to see either one get some significant time under center, and I think that both of them could shine. And that if they do that, either one, I think that they'll definitely take the spot from Aaron Murray, and Aaron Murray will unfortunately be relegated to the bench, or maybe even be up for a trade with another team, that might be looking for another quarterback on their squad or something like that. So that's just kind of, my thoughts on that, what I'm looking at. I wanted to get those things out real quick. That this kind of XFL news out there. Now, things pertaining to the channel. The channel name's changing. The things are changing in this channel. If you notice, I've been putting the graphics out a lot and changing things here and there. And unfortunately, with my voice being gone and literally not being able to talk early in this week, I've missed some videos that I've been wanting to get out with some content and some different stuff. But with that being said, the channel's going to be changing. It's no longer going to be TM33 Sports Talk. We're going to dump that name. I know it's been difficult for people to remember, to get the word out. People are kind of wondering, how's that spelled? What do I look for? When I search it, it doesn't come up, this thing. So we're going to completely change the channel. The channel is now actually going to be named Breaking the Action Sports. So from this weekend on, it's going to be Breaking the Action Sports. We're going to be transitioning over to that. I think that you guys are going to like that. And the whole idea is going to be a little bit of sports, and that's how we're going to look at it. So, bit of sports, Breaking the Action Sports, and hopefully you guys like the logo I've been putting out there and kind of the theming that we've been kind of doing. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the vibe. But that's kind of what's happening with the channel, and all of those kind of different setups, the different changes and stuff like that. You should see them up here in the next week. Unfortunately, with me getting sick, that's put everything kind of like a week behind. And I've really kind of just been saving my voice for really those kind of essential videos that I'm trying to get out to cover the XFL information. So unfortunately, all of the other stuff, the cool, neat things that are happening have been kind of put on hold because I've been sick. So I apologize that, guys. And hopefully here this week, we'll get back on track with things. I'm finally starting to get a voice back to where I can actually talk. It's not great shape, but we're getting there. And I appreciate all of your guys' comments, your wishes, wishing me to get better and things like that. I do really appreciate that. And, it's really been nice to see, just kind of you guys, coming in there and acknowledging that and sending your best wishes. So I do appreciate that. All right, guys. I know that you're busy and I know that I'm busy. So let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.